We have the long journey. Looks like it's finally come to an end here. We finished with this amazing play structure. So I just first of all like to introduce myself. I'm John Love here. I'm the vice principal here at Village Union. And Val Brooks is over there, the principal of the school here. And we've been working along with our committee of volunteers who you saw having the picture taken earlier to put this, do our little bit to make this day happen. As you see, it's completed with the structures we see before us. So before we're just going to have a little brief ceremony here to welcome some guests, acknowledge their presence, and actually dedicate the park to a couple of very deserving patrons. And so just to give you a brief summary of where this playground began. It began about a year ago with one of our parents coming forward, Marco over there. He sort of talked about the need for a playground and how his son really wanted a structure to something to do out here, because before these two structures were here, you can tell we basically had a sheet of asphalt. And so we really began to look for ways to begin to make this dream come true, and work with all our parent community who were incredibly supportive all along, the school staff who came forward with many different initiatives and came forward. And without those two key groups, this day could not have happened. And so I'd like to take a moment just to acknowledge our parents and our staff who really put forward a ton of effort to make this happen today. And once we started on that path, we discovered the group Let Them Be Kids, who also, without their support and guidance throughout this whole process, this couldn't have happened. And they've done an amazing job of walking us through the process. I remember when we first started this process, one of the things they had us do is think about how are we going to raise some money. And our first initial discussions with Jesse, we said, well, you know, maybe we could raise $15,000. And for us to raise $15,000 would have been a huge accomplishment. And Jesse said, okay, we're going to work through this. And then we came up with a number of $50,000. And I said, there's no way we're going to do this. The committee said, well, let's try. We kept working and working and working. And it just began to snowball. We had some amazing corporate sponsors along the way, and many individuals around the community who also stepped forward. So it's been a fantastic journey, and I, as I stand here today, I can't believe we've made this happen. And we stood here this morning and got going, and the skies were looking pretty gray and black, and it all continued to work together. So this whole process has been an amazing journey. I'd like to thank everybody for their work in coming out today. And as you can see, the kids here all set to get on this structure. So without any further ado, I'm just going to ask Val Brooks, the principal, to come forward and have a little, introduce a couple people.
Okay, you saw the committee getting their photos done, so I'd just like to introduce them. If maybe you could come on over and then I can introduce the committee members, please. Don't be shy. You know who you are? Come on.
Come on, all the ones with the yellow shirts.
Yellow shirt.
Where's your shirt?
Trying to do.
Where's your yellow shirt? You're gonna round up a couple. John and Jenny hanging back there.
Okay, I'm going to start on the far end. We have Sean from Let Them Be Kids. Or prepare, sorry. Dan is one of our team leaders. Liz Hughes is a parent at Village Union. Jennifer Seif is one of our interpreters. Mr. Love, you've met. Pam Williams, a parent. Marco Ivan Chichevich, parent. Got that, didn't I? Deb Brown, parent. Jason Schliefer as a staff member, and Shiloh Jaffer, also a staff member. So those are our committee who've been working very hard all year long. Lots of fundraisers and filling out lots of grants and going to businesses in the community, sending emails, that kind of thing, to help us raise the money and bring us to where we are today. And again, I'd like to thank the committee for all of your hard work. I know it's been a journey and one you'll never forget, I'm sure, so thank you very much. I'd also like to thank all the volunteers that are here. It's been a great day. You've worked hard, and you can see the fruits of your labor here and in the kindergarten yard, and I know the children are going to really have a lot of fun. And Naima, you're on.
On behalf of the students at Village Union Public School, we would like to thank all of you for your hard work and determination to make our playground dream come true. Thanks to our parents, families, school staff, community members, Jesse from Let Them Be Kids, and Sean from Paris, Ontario, for all their efforts over the last few months. I know all the children in our neighborhood will enjoy this playground for many years to come. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to now ask Marco to come forward. He's got a few words to say. So here's Marco.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, sir. Can I take that for a second? Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for being here. It was a huge community effort. Unfortunately, my voice is a little bit off. The last few days I've been getting a little bit sick. But I do want to say thank you very much. This effort wouldn't have happened without everybody's support here. So first of all, give yourself another round of applause. Because in all honesty, you can't be thanked enough for everything that you've been able to accomplish for these children here. For myself, my son was in junior kindergarten last year. And for him to come home within the first week and state that he didn't like school because of the inequality in terms of play equipment, it hit me really hard. And to now be able to be here a year later, to look at this play structure, to look at that structure over there, to see all the kids here, look at them. They're going to be so excited. They're waiting for us to finish talking so that they can go up and play. So really all I have to say is thank you to everybody in the community that donated time, money, or even just said, hey, to somebody else to go and assist. Because again, it was a community effort, and without everybody's assistance, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you to everybody.
I'd just now like to ask Colin Carey, who's going to come forward and say a few words of welcome from the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, John. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Worship, City Councillors, honored guests, and Mrs. Hooper. When I look out here today, I look out with such a great sense of pride, because what we've seen with this entire project, with the committee and all the volunteers today, they're building a community. I see this wonderful play structure, and I want to look at all the kids out there, and I want to address you for a second. I want you to know that I'm so proud. Everybody's so proud of you, because what you've done here today, you pitched in. This is your play structure. This is something when you're driving by 10, 20 years from now, you're going to be able to look at this and say, this is something that I did to help my community be a better place. So I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that. I want to also take this opportunity to say to the organizers the dedication to Gord and Bob. When I found that out, these are two wonderful members of our community whose names will be on these structures. And I knew both those gentlemen, and they were real gentlemen. So to have them honored in this way is just a wonderful thing for our community. Thank you all so much.
All right, now I'm just going to ask a couple of we've got greetings from the board. Larry Chacula, he's going to come forward and say a few words on behalf of the Durham Board of Education, who are a major sponsor of today's build.
Thank you very much, John. It is a pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen. I see all these smiling faces. This is the business we're in. We're in the education business, and there you see the results of it. And to all of the people who took part in this, thank you so much for the children. Thank you for your dedicated work. Thank you to the people from Let Them Be Kids. What a wonderful organization. Great stuff. And I remember almost like it was yesterday, Mark, you said to me, do you think we can do this? And I said, yeah, I think you can. And by golly, you did. So congratulations to you. The Community Day. And that leads me into what I was going to say next. We've all heard the adage that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, today it takes Village Union to raise these children. So congratulations to everybody. Well done. Thank you.
All right. And now we're just going to move on to the next section. We're going to have a couple of people up here talking about the two individuals who we named the play structures after. Just a quick note, we're going to have the plaque for the September, so we haven't had an opportunity to get that piece done. So there will be a recognition of our two dedication people who've named the playground afterward will be installed by September. So I'm just going to call first of all Mr. Don Edwards from the Royal Canadian Legion, who's going to up and say a few words about our first recipient, Gordon Cormie.
I hope that's for Gordon, not for me. I look at this and I look at all the smiling faces and I can't help but think of Gord. Flight Lieutenant Gord Cormie, if you look at your little flyers that were handed out, that's just part of his life. And I can't begin to say how humble and embarrassed Gord would be to have this fantastic structure that you have put together for these children. Gord was the kind of person that you wish you'd known forever, or at least a few more years. Gord, at 87 years old, was still standing a post every Poppy Day for the 2 weeks before Remembrance. Every day he still stood a post. The man traveled extensively in his later years. And we lost Gord 2 years ago while on vacation with his girlfriend at 87 years old. Gord had a sense of humor. He was British. They all have a sense of humor. We don't understand it all the time, but he did have a sense of humor. But Gord's greatest legacy was that he loved people. He loved Canada, he loved his home in England, and he loved children. Gord never, ever stopped talking to the children. He knew that that was the future. What you've created here would put a smile on Gordy's face. He never missed an opportunity to share his experiences, whether military or in life, with young people or anyone who would stop and ask him about his medals. Mr. Cormie had 4 medals, and the most fondest memory that I have of Gordy is one day at the Legion. We were both in uniform and we were both talking. Colin's nodding, he knows the story. We were talking about veterans. And there was a gentleman kind of just off to the side staring at us. And finally I just turned to this gentleman, I said, "Excuse me," I said, "can I help you with something?" And he said, "Well, I was just wondering about the 4 medals that are on your friend's chest." And I said, "Will you not realize who this gentleman is?" I said, "This is a true World War II hero. This is Gord Cormie. He's our favorite son here at our branch." He said, "But what are the medals for?" And I turned to him and I said, "This is for the first time Gord was shot down. This is for the second time Gord was shot down. This is the third one is for not taking another airplane up. The fourth one was getting back to Canada before he got shot down anywhere near a plane." The gentleman looked at me like I had 2 heads. He looked at Gordy, and Gordy looked at him. He says, "No, seriously, what is it for? What are the medals for?" Gord, without missing a beat, went, "This is for the first time I was shot down. This is for the second time I was shot down. This is for not taking a third plane up, and this is for getting through the war without getting shot at again." That was Gord Cormie. 2 years ago, we lost him. As I said, he was on vacation, became ill, and he was brought home to England to be buried. This playground, this spot of fun and laughter, is Gord Cormie. Thank you for doing this. He is truly honored and humbled as he looks down on this beautiful day that every pilot likes. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to now ask Representative from Oshawa City Council, Amy England, to come forward and introduce our next guest.
I have the honor and privilege today to introduce Mrs. Hooper, whose wonderful husband was also known as Oshawa's biggest fan, was very instrumental in getting me involved in my community and in politics, and he always had a smile on his face, always was the spirit of what is happy in Oshawa. He retired from the Navy, he was a OPP officer, but I think his biggest thing was he loved children and he loved the future of Oshawa, and he always wanted to ensure that there were safe places where people could play. He always wanted to ensure that outside of Oshawa, everyone knew that Oshawa was this positive and happy place. He was instrumental in the Walk of Fame, which honors residents who have done great things for Oshawa. And although he cannot be here today, we lost him on March 28th of this year. I'm happy to introduce his loving wife, who hopefully will just say thank you, and we're just honored today. So I'm just really excited, Muriel, that you get to be a part of this, and I wish Bob was here. And
I'm thankful to be here. I'm not used to public speaking, and but I'm so grateful to be here. I know if my husband was here, he would be so happy to be amongst the children. He loved children. Both Bob and I taught Sunday school for 20 years, and he was a person that would speak at a lot of events for children. The Scouts, he would speak and give inspirational speeches for them at their annual events, and try to help them, and at different associations where they would need an inspirational speaker. He would speak for the young kids growing up and teenagers wherever he was asked to speak. It didn't matter where. He was always available for children. And today he would be especially happy to see all these boys and girls so excited, and he would be just in there amongst them, just enjoying their presence, as I was when I seen them running around so excited and enjoying themselves and enjoying the playgrounds, and to see them working so hard, some of them, and to see them with shovels and everything. And it was such a nice atmosphere to be in today. And my grandson and I just sat back, and we just love being here. We wish that more of our family could have been here today, because they too would have enjoyed being here. And I want to say, on behalf of my late husband, and on behalf of my grandchildren, and my son and my daughter, and my great-grandchildren, I want to thank you for honoring Bob this day. And I want to thank the dignitaries and the councilmen and everybody else that has come out to honor him. I want to thank everybody. And he did love this city so much, and he couldn't do enough, and he was never tired of working around the city or doing whatever he could. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, just thank you so very much for honoring him. And I want to encourage other people now to get involved in the city as well, as you'll be rewarded. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. All right, We're going to have all these kids stand up. I'm going to get everyone to stand up. We're going to lead us in a rousing rendition of "O Canada" here. So, we're going to remove their hats. All right, boys and girls, remember "O Canada"? All right, Courtney, take it away. All right, this is before I call Jesse up. Jesse's going to lead the children in the ribbon cutting. This once again, I want to thank everybody for coming. Those of you who brought tools and so forth, please make sure you take the time to gather them up. And thanks again for donating your equipment. Very, very much appreciated. And once again, thank you to all our volunteers for making this day come true. I'm just going to call up Jesse John now, and he's going to say a few words. Jesse was one of the key members we worked with from Let Them Be Kids on the ground here who helped us come together. So I'm just going to pass it on to Jesse.
Thanks, John. I'm just going to take a few minutes and speak to the kids. So if every little kid can look at me, and even the older ones. If I can have your attention for just a few more moments, and then you know where you're going to be, right? All right. So do you know why all of these folks here came out to help build you a playground? Why?
Because we need a playground.
Because you need it for what? Anybody else? Connor? Why did all these people come out here?
Because they want to build a playground.
All right. Okay, the reason why all of these folks came out, and all those folks in the yellow shirts that you've seen earlier came out, is because they love you. And as you grow up and get older and you go out into the workforce, we want you to remember this moment. The playground that you were looking forward to for the last 12 years in some cases, and some of them are out there that didn't have a playground. We want you to remember this very moment where you are getting this playground, and we would like you to go out there and become a great citizen and go out and help be a part of a committee that is going to help make your community a better place. Okay? So everyone say, I'm going to do that. All right? That's what we want you to do. We want you to go out there and make your community, as you get older, a better place. And I want you to remember this very moment that you're going to be going out there to play on. So, without any further ado, are we going to pull these things up? Okay. Everybody raise them just for a second, and all the kids come on over to this side. Okay, all the cameramen that want to have a picture, could we have them on the other side? Okay, no, all the kids to the right.
Over here.
Okay, no,